Did you know there's an online cannabis company that ships federally legal THC right to your door? And they found a way to combine THC with carefully selected functional ingredients to target nearly every mood and health concern you can think of. I'm talking about Mood.com's incredible line of functional gummies. And you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code RLRC. Forget one-size-fits-all supplements that only get you high. Mood's functional gummies are optimized to kick in as little as 15 minutes and take you to the mood that you're looking for. Whether that's Mind Magic gummies for deep work and creativity, PMS support to ease cramps and balance mood swings, or their sexual euphoria gummies to help you feel ready for action and turn every touch into a full body experience. Look, y'all, you know I have trouble sleeping. I take the Sleepy Time gummy. I take a quarter of one before I go to sleep, and I sleep hard all night long. Never even move, wake up feeling fresh as a daisy. So listen, you can find gummies to just get you high pretty much anywhere these days. But Mood's functional gummies combine premium federal legal THC with targeted botanicals to help you get into that perfect mood, usually in as little as 15 minutes. And everything ships discreetly right to your door. No dispensary lines, no awkward conversations, just better days and nights delivered to your doorstep. Best of all, not only is every Mood product backed by a 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code RLRC. So head to Mood.com, find the functional gummy that matches exactly what you're looking for, and let Mood help you discover your perfect mood. And don't forget to use promo code RLRC when you check out to save 20% on your first order. Hey, you know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? That's getting burned by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips and barbecues and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why I made the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. The coverage and the speed you're used to, but way less money. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chilling literally and financially. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come from high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered to the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. I use this and you should too. And honestly, the switch to Mint Mobile was a no-brainer for me. The service is just as good as my old provider, but my bill is a fraction of what it used to be. I haven't had any dropped calls. My data speeds are solid, and knowing I'm saving money every single month, that's the real win. This year, skip breaking the sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/RLRC. That's mintmobile.com/RLRC. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months. 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for the first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations. Welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Monday, June the 9th, 2025. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we are Back at it again. Just did a drop on Sunday about the new hashtag Justice for Bradley. Y'all, it's coming out this Friday. Please go listen to it. It's a crazy story.
I know.
I don't know how to explain it. It's so many twists and turns and things and it just can't be ignored. And this family, as all families do, deserves justice. And so just please go look, and we'll look for hashtag and everything just for Bradley. And let's talk about Haley Johnson's case, hashtag Justice for Haley. I'm changing the hashtag Justice for Haley to hashtag Justice for Haley is coming, because we've carried her case as far as we can and taken it as far as we can. And now the Cobb County DA herself, the new DA, is looking into the case. They can't ask for more than that because they weren't going to do anything with it, right?
Right.
So we have definitely not forgotten about her. And today, on June the 9th, I'm actually recording a podcast with Sheriff Jason Ard in Livingston Parish on Miss Barbara Blunt. Never going to forget about her, right? So y'all keep calling in your tips. There will be a tip line set up for hashtag Justice for Bradley, which that number will be released at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning. And call in your tips. No tips too small. I totally believe this case can be solved, and we're going to rock it like we rock all of them. So that being said, I want to talk briefly about California, Los Angeles. See what's happening?
No.
You didn't see it? Okay. The last 2 days, they've been rioting and attacking police officers to the point where they had to call out the National Guard.
Why?
Because they went through and arrested 100-something illegal immigrants, and people popped off. And I don't care how you feel about immigration. You don't. When you attack federal agents with Molotov cocktails.
What's the deal with those?
I don't know. But when you attack federal agents with Molotov cocktails and the police can't get a handle on it, then that's what the National Guard is for. You know, the National Guard, whatever it's called, the Posse Act or something, they have no arrest powers on local soils, but they're there to help keep the peace. And the president had even said at one point on Saturday when it was getting really, really bad, that the Marines at Camp Pendleton were on standby and he would deploy them if necessary. Now that's not really, I think, in the Constitution or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Don't be an asshole. Don't loot. Don't attack federal agents for doing their job. And I was reading the criminal histories of some of these guys that they got, and it's crazy. Again, I don't care how you feel about immigration. You don't. It's, if you attack a federal agent or you attack law enforcement, you got to expect a response. And you want to burn shit up and hurt people, that's not cool. Don't be an asshole. I think generally in these type of situations, Sundays and Mondays, they calm down because people have to go to work. So don't be an asshole. There's right and wrong ways to do things. You don't like policies or whatever, do something in election time, but don't hurt law enforcement officers. They're real people. They have families. They got kids. They got wives. They got whatever. Don't blow them up.
No.
All right. So that being said, let's get on some true crime time for Monday, June the 9th. I'm here with the happiest lady in the world, Cyndi Overton. We'll roll with what you got. Y'all, we're on YouTube. There will never be another audio, just audio put up on YouTube. It's going, everything that we do now will be on video on YouTube. And of course, follow us on TikTok.
Yes. All right. We're going to Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Sheriff Brady Judge?
Volusia County.
Nah, that's not it.
Deltona.
Right.
We have a young couple, and they dated for a couple of years. They broke up.
Right.
With the boy.
As is life, right?
Right. I don't have information on the female. They might have kept her out for a reason, like age, name, that type of thing. But the male in the relationship, well, his last name is Vallejos, and he is 20 years old. And when girlfriend and him broke up, he decided that he was going to stalk her. He wasn't done with her. So he just sat outside her house, stared into her window, watched her, and he slowly progressed into vandalizing the garage, spray painting.
At what point does she call the cops?
So she doesn't. And she lives with her dad. On June 1st, the police called him walking down the street in what they deemed was not really seasonally appropriate attire. So it called attention to him. He had on a ski mask, a hoodie,
Florida summer heat, right?
multiple shirts, jeans, gloves, and it was 76 degrees outside.
Right.
This is 11 o'clock at night. So when the police also drove by him, he kind of went covered up his face.
Even though he had a ski mask
on. Right. He was just trying to get rid of everything. And so they stopped him. And then, because obviously it just didn't seem right. So they did a search of him, and in his pockets was a large pocket knife and a lock picking tool. And that was enough to raise alarm because had been an uptick in burglaries in the area too. So they thought they got this burglary suspect. Right. They bring him in for questioning. And in the questioning, he admitted that he'd been stalking his ex-girlfriend for 6 to 8 months.
Nice.
Repeatedly going to her house and watching her sleep. This is a 20-year-old man. So I'm assuming that the girl's in the same, age range, right? That's just scary that he's been watching her. He planned to break into her home, climbing in with the lock-picking tools, returning to his vehicle for a pre-packed backpack, and then entering, possibly to watch her sleep again. This is what he's telling the police. But in his car, he also had a sledgehammer, and that was specifically to break through the front door, and he said to defend himself if confronted by the father.
Yeah, because you're breaking in, you need to defend yourself.
Right, and then...
don't break in, motherfucker.
When he was pressed even further, asking if he planned to hurt or kill her, he responded, yeah, eventually.
He had diarrhea of the mouth.
Right? Deputies looked through his backpack also. And so the backpack that he was first going to go do the lock, then go back and get his backpack. There was duct tape, wire cutters, black spray paint, which he had used to graffiti the garage in April also, and then the sledgehammers. And so the police then obviously found out who the victim was, and they went and talked to her. And then they were like, oh yeah, we've had some problems, and we had vandalism in the garage.
Yeah, it didn't happen if you don't report it.
Yeah. And the father confirmed that the two had dated for 2 years, breaking up about 6 months ago. Of course, once learned about what the ex-boyfriend had been doing, the father and the daughter were terrified. But I just hope that our kids are more aware of their environment and would have seen someone, especially that just kind of like hanging out outside your house, stalking you. But he was arrested for aggravated stalking, attempted armed burglary, criminal mischief, possession of burglary tools, loitering and prowling, and additional charges stemming from vandalism. And he is held without bond. And then the police body cam footage shows the deputy questioning Vallejos about the mask. He says, why are you covering your face? The Vallejos said, it's kind of cold out. It's 76 degrees.
Yeah.
They've already had the next court appearance, so I don't know what.
And I can assure you the reason he didn't get a bond is because the judge is like, he's a continued threat to society, and probably if I let him out, he's going to kill her. Right?
Yeah.
So, he confessed to it all. He'll go away, hopefully, for a long time and not get out on bond with a piece of paper that won't stop a knife or a bullet. Right?
That's true.
So we had a call from Dr. Phil's people.
Yeah.
And it's about this case. And I was supposed to go on and talk as an expert about covering the case. And then something else happened. I don't remember what it was, and they got off on another topic. But if you don't know, there have been 12 deaths in a region in the Northeast. Okay. So, and that includes New England, and there have been 12 deaths, unexplained deaths, y'all, in remote or wooded areas in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Maine. And this is all since March. So we're talking March to April to May to June. So less than 2 months. Now 12 is a fucking lot.
Yeah. 12
in the wooded areas. That's a lot, even for 3 states. Okay. But the cops are like, nah, fuck it. This is not connected. The police denied a single suspect in the killings, right? But what was everybody else doing? They're like, it's a fucking serial killer running around. And, well, guess what happened? Another dead body.
Oh.
The 13th at around 11:45 a.m. local time on Sunday, June the 1st. The body of 21-year-old Adriana Suazo was found in a wooded area by a passerby. This is in the Norfolk district in Milton. And this is, the press release was done by District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey. So they said Suazo's body showed no obvious signs of trauma, and the chief of medical examiner is investigating the cause of the death. Well, the family members said they weren't sure why Suazo, who grew up in Boston, had been in Milton at the time, obviously at the time she was found and dead. And this is according to the Boston Globe. But one of her sisters said she had last spoken to Suazo on May the 29th. So that's a couple of days, right? Mm. The discovery of Suazo's body marks the 13th unexplained death in remote or wooded areas. Like I told you, in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, and Maine since March. And that's according to Fox News. Of course, me, Woody Overton included, everybody's saying serial killer. So let's take it back a minute. In April, they found 6 dead bodies in towns close to another one in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And these victims included Paige Fannin, who was 35, who was found in the Norwalk River on March 6th. Denise Leary, who's 59, was found in New Haven on March 21st. And Michelle Romano, who's 56, who was found dead 5 days later. Well, again, the police came out and they were like, oh, no, that's not tied together. I think they're going to be eating some fucking crow, right? No, there's no reason at this point, when you got 13 dead bodies, if you have an inkling of a suspect. I understand some of them have been in the water in different areas. And it may go back to, and I hate to say this, the cops pissing on each other. Well, this is, they're not going to share my shit. And I've seen it, y'all. And unfortunately, to this day, I'm still dealing with it. The stupidest thing. It's like pride over, I'm working this investigation. I don't want anybody else's help. Motherfucker, it's not about you. Yeah. Right? It's about protecting the public. And don't you think you should say something? Yeah, I mean,
err on the side
let somebody else get fucking killed and they find out that they've been looking at Joe Blow this whole time, they're in trouble.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
I think you've said this in the past, when serial killers get to this point where it's just like boom, 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 one after another, they've obviously, I think, been doing it for a much longer period of time. I mean, is that the case, or do they just go on a killing spree?
Could be a killing spree. Could be something that set them off. So that's pure speculation. I would assume that there's a bigger chance that the person has been doing it slowly over the years, and now something has really set them off. But it could just be something to set them off. I don't know. But they said that this investigation is in the early stages and remains active and ongoing, and there is no information at this time suggesting any connection to similar remains discoveries actively under investigation by CSP or other CT law enforcement agencies. This is according to the Connecticut State Police. They told People Magazine this. And the police said There is no known threat to the public at this time. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack and hydration sponsor. We're so excited to announce they've teamed up with Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, on 2 special edition products, a salted caramel chip protein bar and a yuzu mango hydration mix. Y'all, the salted caramel chip bar is officially my new favorite protein bar. It tastes just as dreamy as it sounds, sweet and salty and totally addicting in the best way. This collaboration grew out of Chef Keller's daily regimen of IQ Bar products and combines IQ Bar's nutritional excellence with Keller's culinary expertise. IQ Bar's plant protein bars are packed with clean and delicious ingredients that keep you physically and mentally fit. Example, the salted caramel chip IQ Bar has 12 grams of protein and only 1 gram of sugar, plus brain-boosting nutrients like lion's mane adaptogen. The yuzu mango IQ mix is a refreshing zero-sugar hydration mix that marries bold flavor, essential electrolytes for your body, and lion's mane plus magnesium for your brain. Just mixed with water for the Michelin star taste and next-level hydration. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their busy lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. When IQ Bar sent me the salted caramel chip IQ Bar and the yuzu mango IQ mix, I was blown away. I couldn't believe something so delicious could be good for me. I had never had yuzu before either. In case you don't know, it's a citrus fruit, a cross between a lemon, a grapefruit, and a mandarin, which pairs well with the sweet tropical essence of mango. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text RLRC to 64,000. Text RLRC to 64,000. That's RLRC to 64,000. Regular message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. You ever notice how the smallest changes can completely reset your mood? Like lighting a candle or cracking a window or slipping into a bed that actually feels like it belongs in a luxury retreat. We've been switching things up for the summer over here, and let me just say, refreshing your bedroom with avocado green mattress bedding is totally a game changer, y'all. You already know Avocado for the certified organic mattresses, but their bedding is next level. I'm talking soft, breathable, and sustainably made pieces that don't just look good, they feel like an upgrade for your whole life. Their organic cotton sheets, GOTS certified and insanely soft, like sleeping in a fancy hotel. And their natural linen duvet just gets better every time you wash it. Light, airy, and built to last. We sleep better when we sleep cool, and natural materials like these don't trap heat the way synthetics do. Avocado's bedding helps regulate your temperature all night long, which means no waking up sweaty, no tossing and turning, just good, deep sleep. What I really love, though, you're wrapping yourself in responsibly sourced comfort. These materials are organic, renewable, and ethically made. Better for you and better for the planet. That's what Avocado is all about. Mission-driven sustainability without sacrificing luxury. Head to avocadomattress.com today to save 10% on all bedding and 50% on clearance bedding. Avocado. Dream of better. Motherfucker.
You got a murder.
You got 13 dead bodies. I hadn't said any of them murder yet. 13 dead bodies. Notice how close they were in age range?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no 20-year-olds getting killed.
They're
it's like
female.
39 to 56 females in wooded areas, all in the same region. I mean, what the fuck? So now Suazo's sister, Mel Loves is her name, says she was a firecracker full of life, laughter, and fierce love. It said her death has been heartbreaking. Losing her so suddenly has shattered our world. The description, this is on the GoFundMe page, says, my family is completely heartbroken trying to navigate this pain while also doing everything we can to give Adriana the proper burial she needs and a send-off that honors the vibrant, loving, and unforgettable person she was. So now, of course, authorities are urging anyone who saw Suazo in the last week to call the Massachusetts State Police tip line 781-830-4990, and the investigation is ongoing. You better fucking believe they better form a task force. You're getting paid. You can get one dude from each agency. I've been on them before. And one dude from each agency, put them together where they bring their case to the table, sit in a room, chew the fat, as we call it, and come up with something.
Yeah.
You say, and you know what you really need to talk to? You need to talk to your beat guys, your uniform guys. They, especially the guys that work these rural areas, because they've seen something.
Yeah.
A couple more on it. I think the story deserves would just tell a bit more about the previous murders. You mind?
No.
All right. So all the blowing up started back in April on social media, and people started posting about bodies which were turning up in small towns like Clinton, right? Small, sleepy little towns in the coastal New England states of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. And then it blew up. TikTok and X and all that, right? And rightfully so. They said since early March, the remains of 6 people, this is going back a bit, y'all, have been found in towns close to one another in the 3 states, which if I'm smart, and I am, and I'm going to be a serial killer, I'm going to dump them in different jurisdictions that is doing exactly what is going on now. It's confusing the fuck out of them. Of course, people are like, got to be a serial killer, right? I mean, this is like if we had 13 bodies dumped between here and St. Francisville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Mississippi state line is 2 miles away from us, right? Between here and Woodville and St. Francisville. No way that's a coincidence. No. And I am speculating, but I think I have enough street cred to do it, right? So the social media users claim the disturbing discoveries are connected. Police say they haven't found yet any links between the cases. Police are cautioning the public not to jump to any conclusions. I would tell people, don't rush to judgment. Groton Police Chief Louis Farr said, like, Groton, Groton. I'm sure a small town like Clinton, how many homicides do you think this cat's worked? But given the closeness of the towns to where all the remains are found, people are telling each other, stay aware of the surroundings and report any suspicious behavior. You should do that anyway. But one person on TikTok says, I live in Rhode Island. This is definitely happening. Definitely scary. And the places aren't far from each other. Now, on March 19th, human remains were found near the Colonel Ledyard Cemetery in the seaside town of Groton. And the remains belong to a female between the ages of 40 and 60. Were left near the cemetery in mid-February. So we don't even have a name on that one. The woman may have been missing before that. And her remains were found in a suitcase. In a suitcase. How the fuck you say there's no foul play? You think she got herself inside a suitcase and fucking killed herself?
Of course.
So
makes sense.
The people who live there are, very concerned, and they became scared when they learned that the bodies of 2 other women have recently been found in 2 other Connecticut towns, Norwalk and New Haven. Right?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers inside a suitcase.
Yeah.
But on March 6th, the remains of a woman identified as Paige Fannin, who's 35, of West Islip, New York, were found in the Norwalk River near the abandoned Gristmill Road in Norwalk. Right? That same day, March 6th, a human skull was found in the woods off of Route 3 in Plymouth on the Massachusetts coast. And again, this is an unknown. Authorities have not yet determined the age or gender. Weeks later, not that many weeks later, on March the 21st, the body of a 3rd Connecticut woman identified as Denise Leary, 59, was found in New Haven, about 40 minutes away from Norwalk. That's a 2-beer ride.
Right.
I mean, if you serial killing a motherfucker, you drink 2 beers while you're looking for a place to dump them. That's according to NBC News. Now, Leary was a mother of 2 from New Haven, and she was reported missing in August. And people who were clearing brush behind their house in Rock Creek found her remains. 5 days after that, the body of a woman was found in the woods in Fort Foster, Rhode Island. And that was Michelle Romano, 56, who was reported missing from the coastal town of Warwick in August.
So
Common theme, they find in March that several of them have been missing in August, right? And her death, now listen to this, her death has been determined to be suspicious in nature, but the cops haven't said how she died. Probably she's in a suitcase too. But anyway, but most recently, like I told y'all, on Wednesday, April 9th, human remains were found on Woodward Street in Killenly, appropriate name. And the Connecticut State Police told People magazine that remains have not been identified. They said the investigation is in the early stages, remains active and ongoing, and there is no information at this time suggesting any connection to similar remains discoveries actively under investigation. That's just fucking bizarre.
Can they just be holding back on the public and they have somebody?
Absolutely. And they don't want to scare them off. That was my thought. When you get to 13 bodies, it becomes a public safety issue.
Right.
And, there's a lot more information on y'all. I just think it's very strange. And I was asked about covering this case by Dr. Field and I'm going to keep looking into it, but something's going to turn up. Something to break the case, as it almost always does. Now, remember, this is going to be a preferential killer, and obviously not situational, who just snatches up mom because she's running through the woods and rapes and kills her. This cat has been getting away with it.
Yeah.
And I think that makes him more bold, and more brazen, and they're laughing. Hey, Connecticut State Police and the rest of you up there, this motherfucker's laughing at y'all.
Yeah.
You take off the jurisdictional bullshit, get together. Even if you just take it off and get together and prove that they're not related. Right? That's better than not getting together and proving it.
Yeah.
The other way.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to die. I bet you other people have already died.
Yeah.
All these bodies being discovered in rural wooded areas. Holy fuck, you wait till hunting season starts.
Yeah. When
the woods are flooded, they're going to find another 13 bodies.
Yeah.
And here we are on the way to another serial killer. What do you have for us, mama? Hey, you know what? This is a week of Father's Day.
Oh, gosh.
And my old pal, Richard Johnson. Well,
you can't really say that.
My old pal, Richie, would call me and say, Happy
Mother's Day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't become a father without
being a mother of her.
Yeah. Right. So we'll tell you all week long, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Hey, hashtag justice for Bradley Strassner. He's a father. He's got a son named Oliver who's never going to get to celebrate Father's Day with him. So y'all continue to share that. What you got?
It's a bunch of stories, somewhat condensed into one big story.
I'm flexing for YouTube.
I see that. Happy Father's Day week. Moms didn't get a Mother's Day week.
Sure they did.
You didn't
we
say that.
Absolutely said Happy Mother's Day.
Not the week of.
Well, I probably wasn't thinking of it.
And give shout outs all week.
Hey,
you just said
Happy
you were
Mother's Day
do.
year. Just trumped anything you got. Happy Mother's Day for lifetime. Every day, Happy Mother's Day.
But you have to say it every day.
No, I don't.
Well, then Happy Father's Day now. I'll tell you Happy Father's Day now.
I told you I don't want anything for Father's Day. I'm going to drink beer and swim in the pool. It's time for Family Matters.
So in the theme of Father's Day, we have a really horrible, bad dad.
Bad dad.
His name is Travis Decker.
Right.
And so Travis Decker, he's a 32-year-old Army veteran who had been diagnosed with PTSD and borderline personality disorder.
Right.
So he was having issues. And because of that, they had him and his ex-wife had a very specific visitation order to ensure his 3 daughters' safety somewhat. So Travis picked up his daughters for an afternoon. It was a court order approved afternoon in Wenatchee, Washington. Yeah. That's where we're at. And the little girls are Peyton, who was 9, and I say was because they're not with us anymore. Evelyn, who was 8, and Olivia, who was 5. Then he had them until 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock that night, the little girls did not go home. So the mother immediately knew something was wrong, and she called it in to the police. And they did what authorities issued as an endangered missing person alert. They didn't do an Amber Alert, and they cited the father's custody status when they did that. So the girls weren't found. They didn't. Nothing ever showed up. But on June, they never saw him, anything along those lines. But on June 2nd, there was some bodies found, and hikers discovered the sisters' bodies at Rock Island Campground, which was near Travis's abandoned truck. But he's still on the loose. Still to this day, he's on the loose. So the bodies that were found had their wrists zip tied, and they had plastic bags over their head.
How old were they?
I just told y'all. They were 9, 8, and 5.
What state?
Washington.
Does Washington State have the death penalty? Wow. In 2018, Washington was the only state with an active gallows. So they were still hanging people. But death row prisoners were able to choose if the execution would be carried out by lethal injection or hanging. But they've since outlawed it.
Oh.
You got 3 baby girls.
3 baby girls.
Zip tied with plastic bags over the head.
So Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirmed that obviously he was planning this during his visitation. And Travis has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and custodial interference. But he remains at large. Doorbell camera footage shows Travis days before the tragedy walking up to a house. Yeah, murders of his own children. Walking up to a house, knocking, and oddly like sliding his hand down the door.
For like DNA?
I don't know. Investigators found he'd Googled how to relocate to Canada 3 days earlier, and suggesting obviously a planned escape. And then they say that also with his survival skills because of his military, he's a veteran. He's considered dangerous and obviously resourceful, like hiding in the wilderness regions and stuff like that. Over 100 law enforcement officers and U.S. Marshals are involved in finding him, and there's a $20,000 reward in place.
I just can't believe it's only $20,000. Y'all, when you talk about stuff like this, it just gives me mental flashes of 3 babies in the car. Which one did he zip tie first? Or do you zip tie them all first, and then do you do the youngest one with the bag over it, and the bag's trying to suck it in and out, they're choking to death, and the other 2 know it's coming. Daddy, why are you doing this? Yeah. And this motherfucker needs to die. Yeah. He does not deserve to breathe. I talk about rather get shot than stabbed or whatever. I don't like anything around my throat. Right. I don't like, this. Fucking suffocation be the worst way to go. Yeah. But to do it to your own fucking babies. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck how much PTSD you got. Right. That some bitch needs to go kill himself. Well, that's not even good enough. No. So in early September of 2024, he did seek psychiatric evaluations, counseling, and anger management. But in April and May of this year,
he canceled counseling sessions. He
Yeah.
stopped going. He was disciplined at work, and he acted increasingly unstable. And his ex-wife urged courtroom action, warning he was, quotes, brink of something really extreme.
Did you know your birthday doesn't tell the whole story when it comes to how old you really are? I've learned that your biological age, basically how old your cells and organs actually are, is one of the most powerful predictors of your long-term health. That's why I was so curious to try the True Age test from True Diagnostic. It's a super simple at-home test that helps you uncover your biological age and gives you insight into your risk for things like Alzheimer's, heart disease, even early mortality. I ordered it myself because I wanted a clearer picture of my health beyond just checkups. It blew my mind to learn that if your biological age is just 5 years older than your actual age, your risk of major illness can go up by 30 to 50%. That was a wake-up call. But what really motivated me was this. Up to 90% of biological aging is driven by lifestyle. That means how we eat, sleep, move, and manage stress really matters. And we can slow it down. True Diagnostic doesn't just show you your biological age. You get a full personalized report loaded with science-backed steps to actually improve your health over time. I'm genuinely excited to see my results and make some smart changes, maybe dial in my sleep, or rethink my supplements, or just build better habits overall. The whole process is easy. Just a quick finger prick at home, pop your sample into the prepaid mailer, and a few weeks later, your results are online with clear, actionable insights. If you care about protecting your health and want to find out what your real age is, head over to truediagnostic.com and use my code RLRC to get 20% off your entire order or subscription. That's truediagnostic.com and use RLRC at checkout to get 20% off. Your future self will thank you. Hey, lifers, Woody Overton here, and I want to talk to y'all about something that's come up around our house more than once lately: hormones. Now, I can't speak from personal experience on this one, but I've seen it firsthand with Cyndi. There were days she'd be feeling drained, overwhelmed, even a little off. We couldn't figure out why. She was eating right, taking care of herself, getting things done like always, but something just wasn't clicking. Turns out it wasn't just stress. It wasn't just being tired. She took this free 2-minute quiz from a company called Happy Mammoth, and it gave her some serious insight into what might be going on with her hormone levels. After answering just a few simple questions, she got personalized breakdown, and one of the main things it pointed out was that her body may be overloaded with estrogen. That's when we found Hormone Harmony, Happy Mammoth's plant-based herbal formula designed to support your hormone levels, stress response, and overall well-being. Since Cyndi started taking Hormone Harmony, she said it's made a noticeable difference. Things like occasional bloating, low energy, and those mild mood dips, all less frequent. And it didn't take a huge lifestyle overhaul to see those changes. Just a small daily habit that fit right into her routine. Now listen, this isn't some one-size-fits-all deal. This quiz gives you personalized recommendations so you can understand what's going on in your body and what might help you feel better. Whether it's Hormone Harmony or one of their other hormone support products, you'll know exactly where to start. And here's the thing. Happy Mammoth has helped thousands of women. They have over 40,000 5-star reviews, and a bottle of Hormone Harmony sells every 24 seconds. That many folks can't be wrong. Ready to start feeling like yourself again? Head over to happymammoth.com and take their free 2-minute hormone quiz today to find the ultimate answer to your stubborn hormonal issues. And for a limited time, you can also get 15% off your entire first order with my code RLRC at checkout. That's HAPPYMAMMOTH.com and use the code RLRC for 15% off today.
So
She wasn't wrong.
no, I mean, it goes on.
There's extreme and there's this kind of extreme. Let me tell you something. This is the kind of shit that the death penalty was invented for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it really was. they knew it. It's also the court system and restraining orders and OCS, or Office of Child Protective Service, or whatever they call it in the state of Washington. They know this dude's off, right? He's got strict, but the courts, and we've been a part of this, erring on the side of caution, of still giving this motherfucker visitations. Hey, if you label him all this shit, don't let him fucking get visits.
Have supervised visits.
Have supervised visits. Put it on fucking camera in a room with a supervisor, right? He wouldn't have zip tied. Can you imagine those babies' last moments?
No.
And are you crying for yourself because you're scared to death, or are you crying for your younger sibling who's suffocating? You're not going to die instantly from that.
No.
That takes minutes. And the just absolutely, boy, that dude deserves to die. And I'm going to tell you something. This story, when you started reading it, believe it or not, I cover P. Diddy, especially on Mondays, and it's all the headlines. Believe it or not, this story, and rightfully so.
Yes, this is one that deserves.
Is a fucking idiot. This story had more national headlines than P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Not by much, but it still had more. And it deserves it. For once, I'm fucking speechless. But you know what? They need to have 100,000 people looking, law enforcement agencies looking for this guy, and not 100.
And more than a $20,000. I mean,
20,000. I mean, come on, man.
People are going to turn them in for if they see them out of their free goodwill. But
I agree with you on that. And I found that kind of shocking. 20,000. I mean, fucking, if I was a local government,
$1 million,
right? Fuck him. Fuck Ben.
I would say bring his head back to me. Like, don't
even, or make it dead or alive.
Exactly.
I would go do it for 20,000 because I would bring him back slung over a horse.
Yeah.
Right. So crazy. Hey, y'all. I know. I want to take a second and talk about this. We are, and according to podcasting standards, I guess you would say, or measurements, we are extremely blessed with our national advertisers.
Absolutely.
We have more than we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, unless you're a patron or a convict, and they get commercial-free early releases and the bonus stuff and all that, and y'all, patron and convicts, stick with me because you're about to get a plethora of stuff, and with the Bradley case. But everybody else has to hear all the commercials. And that's okay. Y'all, if you don't want to hear them, you can go to patreon.com, type in Real Life Real Crime, see if you want to become a subscriber, or go download the Real Life Real Crime Community app from the App Store and become a convict. Mm-hmm. I mean, I almost feel bad because I've been listening back to the other episodes and there's so many commercials. But you know what? We wouldn't have the money to fight for a hashtag just for Bradley. We don't get paid anything.
We don't ask money from the victims' families at all for anything that you do. But I want to say, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, we have all of the national sponsors. We have to put those in each episode, the inserts in the episodes, so that they can fill all the spots, because we have that many. We're, like you said, we're blessed, but we can't just pick and choose. Oh, we're only going to put 4 commercials in this, and only
that is not decided by us. It's decided by our agent. It's just, there's a difference between me reading a commercial and giving y'all a discount code or whatever it is that's on it, and I get to try all the products, or the, a baked in commercial, but it doesn't matter. I just want to say that we appreciate you continue to listen. All right. Time of the week.
Oh, I have Diddy update.
It is Diddy time. But I have got to play this. I've got to find this, and I've got to play this for you. Might be one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard.
Okay.
And this has been done. It's everywhere on social media. I don't think there's any copyright infringement or anything like this. Now, you and I both like Nancy Grace.
Love her.
I met her. You met her in the hallway at Crime Con and all that. You can tell that story. You've told it before. Yeah.
So she was on the same floor as us is it the Hilton?
Yeah.
At Crime Con. And I heard her coming down the hall, and I told you, I said, I don't even know if I was fully dressed. Like, I think I threw on a robe. I said, I'm going to get ice. And I was like, oh my God. I wasn't like one of those people like, oh my gosh, like you're Nancy Grace. I at least had a little bit of couth about me, like not starstruck. Yeah, she was very, very sweet. She was in a hurry, but she was very sweet. She had her security. She said she was going to come down to our room later on, but in her defense, we weren't in her room, so she could have.
I actually like her. I think she's a pistol. Whether you like her or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you how I feel. How you lifers feel doesn't, we can't get sideways about that because I don't care how you feel. I mean, if you like her, great. If you don't, whatever. But P. Diddy, right? All the business. Now, Nancy Grace is an OG true crime. And I remember first starting to like her in the Natalie Holloway case.
Right.
And I was at the beach and following and everything else. But she's like Casey Anthony and Scott Peterson and all the ones. She's a baller, right? She doesn't give a fuck.
Play.
I've got to play this. And this is 2 podcasts, and I don't know who they are. I'm pretty sure they must be famous, but I don't follow other people's podcasters. But listen to this shit. This about Diddy.
Other news. The fucking Diddy trial's going on, right? Yeah. Can you pull up the clip of Nancy Grace talking about P. Diddy's Tootsie Roll? It is the funniest clip. First of all, Nancy Grace, if you ever listen to my podcast, please come on. She is the OG true crime bitch.
Yes, she is.
She has been doing it since before any of us were doing it. Like Nancy Grace, I really feel like pioneered true crime.
Yes, she did, of course. Like she asked the question everyone else is afraid to ask.
She is so funny, dude. I think I might have the clip right here. This literally brought joy to my freaking dismal week, okay? Nancy Grace acting like this. She's so out of pocket, and it's hilarious. Like, she's unhinged AF. She's a verbal sniper. Okay, ready? Watch her face.
Word for word, she says she didn't think it would hurt as much due to his lack of length and girth. So she is comparing Combs to a Tootsie Roll, and later in that same lawsuit, she refers to him as itty bitty Diddy.
Okay, Rob Shooter, testimony aside, there's really no coming back from that.
Like, there's so much other she could have been like, there's no coming back from that, but literally the Tootsie Roll took her out, and she's like, okay, there's no coming back from that.
That is so
funny, bro.
Y'all, you had.
I'll put it.
So, y'all, you have to see Nancy Grace's face. Then she's heard everything in the world, right? Been around the block for 1,000 minutes, but you have to see her face when they talk about her parents. Her face like
you can freeze it and show them.
And she's like, "Okay, I don't know how to do that."
I can find it and insert it into the video.
Other news: the Diddy trial's going on, right? Okay. She's so out of pocket, and it's hilarious. Like, she's unhinged AF. She's a verbal sniper. Okay, ready? Watch her face.
Word for word, she says she didn't think it would hurt as much due to his lack of length and girth. So she is comparing Combs to a Tootsie Roll. And later in that same lawsuit, she refers to him as itty bitty Diddy.
Okay, Rob Shooter, testimony aside, there's really no coming back from that.
That brings tears to my eyes. I mean, that's probably something I would have said, right? She's fucking hilarious. And so we're going to end this show with me bringing you the Diddy headlines because I'm not reading all these fucking stories. So, of course, Diddy's trial rolls on. Again, if he's found guilty, fuck him. And our hearts go out to the victim. So I'm not making light of that. I'm making light of how, not even really making light of it, just how stupid it is that this, if he's found guilty, common criminal gets this much news coverage when you just tell a story. Why? Well, it is everywhere, but why isn't that family getting that kind of justice?
It won't stay there though. Like this,
the
news, stories, but Diddy will stay there and there'll be all these shows about it. And
well, you know what? I think that people are finally getting fucking tired of Diddy because there's not as many stories. But headline, Cassie explained on stand why she kept this knife in an odd place on door. Kill two birds with one stone. That's the head of the news, whatever, the fucking title of the article. And Sean Diddy Combs' legal team makes second mistrial request. Here's why they are claiming prosecutorial misconduct. You know what? That's it.
What?
People are fucking sick of hearing about that bullshit. Now, let me read you what's important. And this one, I do not mind reading over and over again. The story that you just told, here are some of the headlines about it from the time that it began, right?
Yeah.
Bloody handprints, 3 slain sisters. What we know about missing dad accused of killing them. Travis Decker. These are all different, y'all. Travis Decker was last seen with his 3 daughters before they were found dead inside the manhunt for the missing Washington dad. Dad of 3 sisters who vanished during planned visitations, seen in door cam video in last known appearance before their deaths. Here's when mama 3 sisters allegedly killed by dad knew something was wrong. Father of 3 sisters who vanished during visitation showed no red flags before their deaths, says attorney. Mama 3 girls allegedly killed by dad shares heartbreaking video she made for Father's Day. Lawyer for mother of 3 girls who police alleged were killed by their dad thinks he died by suicide. Father accused of murdering his 3 daughters allegedly made these chilling online searches days before he went missing. There you have it, y'all, right? That's true crime news. I know Diddy, sex trafficking, all that, and I get it. And y'all listen to her sex trafficking series, Queens of Digital Marketer, the Queens. It's awesome. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. That deserves to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Tootsie Roll. Her face was like she was trying to, she covered her mouth. Y'all, that's all going to be on her TikTok. Go watch it.
And YouTube.
That's what I meant. YouTube. It's going to be on our YouTube, right?
Yes.
Got to get used to saying YouTube. Yeah, I got to get used to go checking the stats on YouTube. That being said, I'm done for the day. How about you?
Me too.
And so I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We're your host of True Crime Time for this Monday, June the 9th. I'll let you later. Peace.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free select DeWalt, Craftsman, or Cobalt tool with purchase of a select battery kit. Plus, get a free Werner 2-foot aluminum ladder when you buy an 8-foot fiberglass ladder. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.